Hello, and welcome to the webcast of today's launch. I am Mark Shows, Lead Systems Engineer here at ASC. You are looking at a live view of our Alpha launch vehicle as it awaits its liftoff, which we are currently counting down to an on-track launch. Alpha is our two-stage orbital class rocket that uses kerosene and liquid oxygen as propellant on both stages. Both stages of the rocket have one engine, the first one being Engine 1, second being Engine 1 Vol, V meaning vacuum. We are planning reusability on Alpha Block 2, which will come as soon as Flight 3. Here's how we will return Alpha's first stage. After separation, we will flip the first stage around and reignite the engine for a short burn that will set the vehicle on a path back to the launch site's coast. We will then flip the vehicle again in the orientation needed for re-entry. After a little bit of unpowered flight during re-entry, we ignite the small solid rocket motors to slow the vehicle down, as the main stage is out fuel. We then detach those motors as they are no longer of any purpose and cannot be used again. The first stage will then deploy a series of parachutes to bring it slowly down for a splashdown just off the coast of the launch site. It will be brought back there and then reused on another flight. The payload on board today's vehicle is Alpha Test Communication Satellite. This satellite will mainly be a test of our satellite systems, which we got to prove some worked on Epsilon's flight. The systems include engines, RCS thrusters, cameras, and communication methods. We are just about to pass the 1-minute mark until liftoff. At that point, the vehicle will switch over to internal control as it prepares to fly.
1 minute, vehicle is on internal control at this time. "45, tanks pressed for flight. LD on countdown, flight is go.
Now at 30 seconds until launch, you just heard that we are go for launch.
"20 seconds and counting. 15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Alpha has successfully lifted off from LC-1 and is on its way to orbit. We are about to experience the point of maximum stress on the vehicle, Max Q.
Max Q.
Next events coming up are main engine cutoff, stage separation, second engine start, and payload fairing separation.
MECO. Stage separation confirmed. SES-1. Fairing separation. Orbital insertion confirmed.
We will now enter a short coast phase. After then we will deploy our satellite, bringing today's mission to an end. If you are just joining us, we have had a successful launch, staging, and orbital insertion on our first test flight. In a moment here we will flip the vehicle around in preparation for payload deployment.
ATCS-1 deployment confirmed.
We have successfully deployed our payload for today's mission. That brings our live coverage to an end. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you at our next launch.